Hello, and welcome to App Drops, your source for the latest and greatest apps hitting the Webflow marketplace. I'm Vic from the Developer Relations team, and I'm here to walk you through the apps that will help you build faster and get the most out of your Webflow site. Today, we're jumping into a big topic, e-commerce. Webflow offers e-commerce functionality, but we know some store owners may have additional needs like integrations, custom checkout, logic flows, and more. Our app developers have done a tremendous job building these apps and integrations for popular e-commerce platforms that work seamlessly with Webflow. So today, we're going to dive into 3 of these apps: Shopiflow, Smoothify, and Cart Genie. Shopiflow and Smoothify are 2 great apps that help you bring your Shopify products into Webflow. You get the ease of page building in Webflow with the power and advanced functionality of Shopify. Cart Genie is a special app created by the folks at Monto who have built additional features perfect for users who are looking to take a step beyond Webflow e-commerce but still want a Webflow native building experience. We'll walk through store setup, product syncing, and advanced features to get you started with the store that fits your business and design needs while still being powered by Webflow. All right, let's jump in. So we're going to jump into our first app, Shopiflow, which is an app that lets you bring your Shopify data into your Webflow site. And it does it a little bit differently than you would with Webflow e-commerce. It actually takes advantage of the CMS to do it. And it even offers customers that are on e-commerce plans a way to migrate. But the first thing we need to do is install a Shopify app to our Shopify store. So we will need a Shopify store already set up. I am just using one that comes with Shopify developers that gives you a development store that allows you to, let me reauthorize Shopiflow, so you can see what products we have. So the development store allows us to have different products with different scenarios. So we have some that are in different collections. We have different categories. We have selling plans, gift cards, out of stock, products with multiple variants. And for the variants, one thing I want to note is I set this store up where the variants are using a color meta field on the variant. So here I've set up my colors, and then the variants are connected to the meta field. And this is helpful because the colors, when you define a color, define both the hex code, and then you can give an image for it, which will help us when we display the product in Webflow. So I've authorized Shopiflow to work with Shopify. Now we need to authorize it to work with Webflow. And when the starter, they say you can start with some themes. I think this is a very good way to start with Shopiflow. It shows you the power and the utility very quickly. I started with the client first clonable, and I've already cloned this project. And when we'll look through, you'll see a homepage that has static content, and then it mixes some Shopify content in there. It's got a shop, but in order for us to see how this works, we need to open up our Shopiflow app, and we need to install Shopiflow to work. So we have this auto install. I understand the auto install. It installs, and then I need to go to import and manage Shopify data. So it looks, and one of the things I forgot to mention about the template is it already has the CMS field set up. So the fields we have, or the collections we have, are products, product options, collections, product types, vendors, tags, and option filters. In products, when we look in products, we'll see we have different information. We have the main image, gallery images, price, all of this, and all of this needs to come from Shopify. And how we have it come from Shopify is through the app. So I will jump back in. Okay, there we go. And this allows us to say, where should products from Shopify go? They should go to the products collection, product options, so on and so forth. We'll press continue. We'll press import Shopify data. And then we need to publish the product before importing the products. That was on me. So we went ahead and published. And then now we can import the Shopify data. Everything looks good. I have a small amount of products. If you have a larger amount of products, it might take more time. it says there's an import queue. But one of the things this also does when you set this up is not only does it sync it one time, it also creates webhooks in Shopify to then, when anything changes in Shopify, let Shopify know so it can change your collection information in Webflow. So let's take a look at our CMS. I think I have a couple more products. Let me just refresh and see. There we go. So our products are in here, as well as our product options. So products are the different products. Options are the different variants. So here you can see I have different variants for the complete snowboard, different variants for the gift card. I have product types. I have product tags, as well as different vendors. And then this last one here, we'll get to option filters. We need to build ourselves because it's variable in how we want to filter things in Webflow. So now that Shopify imported all of our Shopify data, our theme or our clonable is actually a little bit more useful. So now we can see the product data we have here. We can see all of that information. When we go back to our homepage, we can see we have a slider already here with product information. And then if we preview this, let me see if it already looks good. Yeah, our product information is in there. We even have any product that has a discount. It's there as well. And this little thing, this little pill. We have a cart. We can go to the shop. We can click on a product. We can add it to the cart. So all of that is already done. Now it's time for us to get to styling. So one of the things I noticed when I first was looking at, the different products is this is an out of stock product. And while on the data layer, Shopify knows that you can't add an out of stock product, I kind of don't want somebody to be able to do that anyway. So I'm going to go back into the designer. I'm going to go to my product template page. And I'm going to go to my out of stock snowboard. And let's get out of preview to design. So as you'll learn walking through the documentation, there are a lot of classes and combo classes. Again, this goes off of client first, but then there are also Shopify specific classes, and you'll see every Shopify specific class has 2 dashes in front of it. What I want to do is I want to, anything in the product container actions, and I think it's in the product container in general, I want to hide or style something specifically if something's out of stock. So for the add to cart button, what you can do is you can look for the out of stock class, and then you can start styling it differently. So I want to say the color should actually be neutral light, and the cursor should actually be not allowed. And then for the buy now button, I always do this. Let me take this off now. So it's styled normally, but then SF out of stock. I will just hide the visibility on these last 2. So display none. And for the shop pay button, display none. Okay, great. So now I'm going to publish this because currently in preview, it doesn't get the data to let it know that it's out of stock, but we can look at that now. Now on this one, I can see out of stock. Additionally, if I go to a different product, I can see that the style for in-stock products hasn't changed. So we can start styling as we want to, just as we would in Webflow, adding combo classes, updating styles, all of that. We'll go here, back, and one of the things I also wanted to share was about filtering. So the shop comes with automatic filters. You can filter by collection, and that's already set up. But you can also filter by specific variant things like color and size. But in order to do that, if we go to the shop, I had so much fun in this template, guys. It was a lot of fun. But in order to do that, if we look at our filter sidebar component, we can open this up and see that this is connected to some collection lists. So this one is connected to our option filters list, which, as I mentioned before, doesn't have any items in it. If we did want to create an item, an option filter, we would give the filter a name. Let's give this, I know I have a variant named Sunset. And then we would say the filter group is color. We could add a filter image, all of that. I'm going to do that really quick for all of my options, and I'm going to use the MCP server to do it, but give me a second. I've got the MCP server set up, so I'm going to ask it to create these option filters. All right, so I asked it to look in the product options collection and create new option filter items for each variant, add hex codes and images in all fields that apply. So it's going to look for my site, look for the CMS. It'll get the details of both collections. It'll check existing collections. And it's going to say, I'm going to create these new ones. Powder one. And if we close and open the CMS again, we should see. All right, cool. We have these. So now if we jump back into our, thank you, MCP server. Let's jump back into the designer. Uh-oh, that was on me. Oh no, breakpoints. Okay, what did I do? There we go. So now we can see if we go back to the shop, we can see the color is automatically there. I don't want anything for size. I don't think that there's anything necessary for size right now. So I'm just going to jump into the filter sidebar and just go ahead and remove that one. Make sure I'm grabbing the right collection lists. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah. I'll get the option filter wrapper and I will just remove it. I can always add it back later. One of the things I didn't mention, and I'll get to that in a second, is there are components that come with a library. So now I can see this. I will publish this. Great. We'll look in my shop, and now I can filter by color. So what variants have color? I can just switch between. I can remove it if I want to. But so now I'm easily able to filter, and I did it all pretty much with CMS. The one thing that I do want to jump into and make sure I didn't gloss over was how this works is it's connected to the option CMS, option filter CMS collection list. And then, let me see. And then it says what's the filter group. It says filter if the filter equals color. There's other ones for size and material. You might be able to change this, but this is what comes with the template. So we're able to do that. So now I can focus on actually bringing my store design to life. I can jump back into my homepage, update these with static content. The last thing that I wanted to show was how to edit some of the components. So there is a component that's always on every page, the cart pop-up, and you'll jump into that cart pop-up component. And to edit, there's a combo class similar to the out of stock where the cart will pop up so you can make edits to this information here. When you're done editing the cart, you'll want to make sure that you, let's go back to that body and the cart pop up. You want to make sure that you remove that combo class. But there are also components that you can use both within the starter template as well as in the ShopeeFlow app. So when you launch the app, you'll see you can add new modules, you can add new descriptions. They're broken up by pre-built components, by module, product components, product listings. You can add search. All of that is here. You can even have integrations with Klaviyo. So check this out. Check out their documentation. They have really great documentation, and see how working with one of the out-of-the-blocks templates feels. See how working with one of the components feels, and let us know how you are working with your Shopify data and Webflow. All right, so we're going to get started with Smoothify. I've already logged in and created an account, but that's all you need to do, and you will be faced with this screen here. So Smoothify is another app that lets us connect our Shopify data to our Webflow site. And the first thing that we need to do is install the app to Shopify. So I'm going to use the store that we used in the first demo. We'll go ahead and authenticate. I actually already did, so that's on that. And then it's going to ask me to connect a Webflow site. So I've gone ahead and cloned the Smoothify starter project, and I've already got that cloned. So I'm just going to connect that site. There we go. So I'll do that. And it's going to say connecting your site to Shopify. And we can look at the demo site here and see it says the scripts are included, the CMS is included, the pages are included, the component library, CSS variables, etc. So the next step from here is to start with the tools, and you can create the collections automatically, but our starter project already has that. You can export your Shopify data as a CSV, or you can sync via the desktop app. I'm going to choose to do that. I've already downloaded it, but it's a really quick download, and I'm going to go ahead and enable autosync and sync now. So let's enable autosync. So that'll include alerts, and I'll go ahead and sync that now. Oh, it's up here. So just so that we have everything all together. So it knows my products. It's updating there. Great. So let's head over to our demo. So here we have, we're here in pages. We've got our shop, our cart, our search page, all of the things that are already set up for us. And then in our CMS, we have our products, our collections, and our vendors. Go ahead and X that out. So we can see all of our products, we can see our collections, and we can see the vendors that we have from Shopify. All of this isn't published yet. We can publish that. It'll be queued to publish when we publish the site. But then let's jump in and start looking at our pages. So our shop page is already all set up. And if we preview it with custom code, we can see our Shopify products load. So we can see all of that. And we can see that there might be some work that we can do with some styling to make sure that these images fit. All right, so we're already cooking with grease here. Now let's go over to our product page and see what that looks like. So right now we do need to set some things up to connect our CMS to our page. So in our product template, we're going to come out of preview, and in our page, we're going to look for our Smoothify product element. And this element requires us to add the data ID attribute. And so, oops, I don't want to add a new attribute. I just want to, there we go. So here we're going to connect this to our CMS. We're going to connect this to the Shopify ID. Now, when we try to preview this, we'll see our product right here. And if we go back to our shop, we will see also the variants of any product here as well. So I know that my complete snowboard has a couple variants, and I can see them here. I can see them down here as well. So now I can change these to see both variants and my regular product. All right, so I added these two snowboards to my cart, and now I can see up here that they're added in my little mini cart. One thing we need to do is we need to set up the view cart. We can go directly to checkout, which will take us to our Shopify checkout. I am having a little bit of trouble going to my checkout page because it's a development store, I believe, but you would see your checkout page. What we're going to do is go back to the designer, and we're going to preview our nav component, or we're going to design our nav component, jump in our nav component, open it up. And in the nav component, you want to go down to your mini cart details component, open that up. And in the bottom, you'll see here this button. You'll want to change the link to go to your cart. So we'll have this go to our cart. And now we'll close this. And when we preview this and we click, oops, actually, I'll just publish this so we can see this live. There we go. So now we can see the cart. We can actually, if we're in the shop, we can go to our cart. We can view the cart. There we go. And now we can check out. One thing here is if you have a coupon code, you can use any of your Shopify coupon codes. So mine is BOGO, Summer BOGO. Apply my coupon. I see my coupon here. I can go to checkout. Again, this is protected, so I can't see it at this moment. But I can see the different orders and all of that in Shopify. So we have successfully set up our cart. We've set up our shop. We have a really cool search, so I can search for a product. So I'll say out of stock. I'll do that on the actual site. Sorry. It has it here, so I can see that here. Other things that were very nice to see were we have the compare at price snowboard. So the nice thing about the Shopify demo template is you have all different types of scenarios. You have a scenario where the item is out of stock. You have a scenario where there's a compare at price. You have some subscriptions. Anything you want to create for or make sure that these exceptions work with your build, you can do that. All right, now that we feel comfortable that knowing that all of our Shopify information is in here, it's updated and synced, let's head over to see how we can style this. So we have a style guide page in Webflow, and this determines the style for our site. Additionally, we have variables that have already been set up. So we have things like sizes, text, color palettes, all of that. And we can see that how it's referenced in this style guide. So just to show you what changes you can make from the style guide, I'll go ahead and change these headings over to my variables. I'll do this really quickly. So I will say, let me change my variables first. Go to my variables, change my text. I wanted to change my primary heading to, wanted to change this to Chonga 1, little chunky boy. And then I'll change this to Open Sans and Open Sans. So now if I head back here, we can see that that primary variable has changed. I'll go ahead and link this to my primary variable. I'll do this for the others as well. And one thing I like is we can already see how that affects our starter project. One thing I didn't mention is that this project is built using components, and we'll look at the component library, but it's also based off of the S2 framework, and you can go to the documentation for that. You can see all of the classes here as well, and then all of the component library here. So you can see all the different components you can use in your site that use the Shopify data. You can also use your own components for non-Shopify information. So some static content that's not dynamic and linked to your product information. But now that we've done that, we can see we have some changes. All right, so I've done a bit of styling here. But what I wanted to show you is let's get out of the template and start using some of the components that come with the Smoothify template and the Smoothify library. So I'm on a homepage and I put some static content here. I zhuzhed it up a little bit, but obviously there's a lot more you can do here. You can start adding interactions, whatever you'd like to do. But I want to show how you can get your Shopify content into a more static layout like this. And so we'll go about this just like we would if we were working with collections, which we are. We'll just drop a collection list into our section. We'll make it a product and do a little bit of layout here. And then I'll drill down into my item versus my collection list. So I'll get my collection item. And this is where I'm going to go into the library. And the first thing we need is the custom element for our product. So here. And what this will allow us to do is link each item to a Shopify ID. So we'll link that. And now that's for the data linking piece. Now I can get a component for display to display my product information. So I'll take this card content and we will do some styling. I will limit this to say about 3 items. So I'll limit the items to 3. And one of the things here, my component is light, right? So my, my card component, which actually needs to be in the slot. So let me put that in the slot there. No, go in the slot. There we go. So now one thing I want to do is I want to say to style this for my homepage, which is dark, whereas my product pages are light. So what I'll do is I'll jump into my component and I will style this to have a dark mode. So here I'll create a new dark variant, and then I'll switch my theme to use my dark mode variables. And then you'll see here, everything looks kind of good except for this product price here. So let me jump into this product price variable or component that's being used. And you can see I have some variants. I have a card variant, but I want to add a new variant for dark card. So I'll come here. I will create a dark card. Let's look at our card variant really quickly. So the font size here is 1 rem. For the dark card, it's 1 rem. Oh, that's because I did this before. Let's look at the small price container, small price here. So in our card variant, that is actually size large. So for dark, we also want that to be size large. So for our font, let's make that size large. And then because this is going to be on a dark background, we should have this be text. So this should be fine, but let's just check. So I'll jump out of here. And then if my card variant is using dark card, and then we will jump back into the card variant or card component to use the dark product. Let's see. So now this is all dark. Let me jump back in here and fix this. This is giving me a little bit of issue, and I want to make sure we get this right. So product price, let's jump in here, small price. And let's make sure it's using our text variable. So when we're using text on dark card, and we're in dark mode, the compare price is fine. So here, dark mode, dark card. Okay, now we've got it looking good. All right. Okay, so now we have our product linked up. We have made sure we have the Shopify ID. We've done some variant styling so that this looks better in our dark homepage. When we preview this, we should be able to see our dynamic content show up as well as our images. We can then click in to our product page and we can see that dark styling is not carried over to our product page or to our shop page. Here we go. I probably need to fix this. I did something crazy. Oh, I know what I did. But I just wanted to show how you can continue to style and design as you would in Webflow, but while also continuing to use your dynamic products that are coming in from Shopify with Smoothify's components that come in a template or that come from their app. So you can actually jump in and use their app. There is a bunch of documentation. So here we have documentation on how to use some of their elements. Give it a spin. Let us know what you think. We really want to make sure that we're providing solutions for you to use whatever e-commerce tool you want inside of Webflow to be able to design your way, but then also use the products and the tools that you know and love. Okay. The last app we're going to check out today is Cart Genie. Cart Genie is a really great app for teams that have used Webflow e-commerce before and are looking for a little bit more customization, a little bit more power. It actually is very similar in the build process as some of the apps we reviewed today before, where everything is managed in the CMS and synced to the CMS, and you can create your product pages using CMS collections as well. Additionally, you can do a products template, you can have your store page, all of those things. But it's built by the Monto team, which has a great background in Webflow e-commerce and kind of knows what the gaps are and what a team member or someone who would need, who would say, hey, I want to use Webflow e-commerce, some more things that they might need. Additionally, it comes with an app. So similar to the other ones, you can generate pages You can have templates. You can add components as well. So very easy page building experience. But I want to check out the actual backend and show you some of those extra features that you would get versus just using Webflow e-commerce. So here you can see I've got a dashboard. I can see kind of everything that's going on. And at the top, and before we jump into that, I do want to say that they have a really great setup guide. So I already created an account and I did all of these things to connect just like I would with the setup with Webflow e-commerce. We need to create your payment gateways, add your products, showcase all of that kind of stuff. And it walks you through really easy. But once you're through with that, you can kind of play around with some of these features. One of them is you see at the top is test order mode, which is just so clutch. So we're in my order. I've created an order. I'm kind of looking at things, looking at my checkout page, seeing how things work, seeing how the whole process is. And you'll see here, it's got some some address validation already in there. I can use a test card. So I'll go do that. I can just say, let's say 08 to 28, 1, 2, 3, and then go ahead and complete the checkout. Oops, must be a valid email address. What did I put? Oh, okay. There we go. So we'll see that. We can see our order page or our confirmation page. And then when we go back to Cart Genie, we'll see that we have some test orders. We'll see with this little beaker that this is a test, but we can also see like what we can do from here, what I can do with my orders without actually having to place real ones. So you can see here, I can fulfill the order, issue refunds, resend a confirmation, all of those things. And then another great feature of this is as soon as I create an order, I already have a customer. So as you see, I'm just testing it out, but I've created this customer list. I can go in, find details, see order history, see if they have subscriptions, and we'll get to that in a second. But all of those things. So that's really powerful, a really easy kind of workflow. So that's orders. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to show here. You have kind of what you would have in Webflow here with the status, but you can kind of see it better. And then you have your products. I like that I was able to start up with a like quick list of example products, and you can see just like in Webflow, you are able to define them. You're able to have billing and shipping options. You're also able to create multiple variants as well. But one thing that I really like is that you're also able to add additional info and additional fields to your products. So that's super helpful. It also comes with a hover image, which is nice. So you can go ahead and save changes as drafts. Save it as a draft. It will, they said it'll publish it. So we'll look at that. You can queue it for publishing and you can sync your products. So here, if this is draft status, I can go ahead and say, I do want to publish this. So you can create categories, product settings. You can create settings for your product, for your categories. This also let me see. You also informs your breadcrumbs on your site. So if we're here on a page like the long product box, you'll see that I have these nice breadcrumbs. So a really great way for managing products, pretty straightforward. Then you also have a very nice discount generator. So you can see active discounts. You can add a discount. You can create the code. You can add some notes. You can create restrictions here as well. So just some more advanced things that you wouldn't necessarily be able to do in Webflow e-commerce right out the box. And then with this product also supports subscriptions. So with memberships being sunset, subscriptions rely somewhat on memberships. So now you're able to actually bring back subscriptions to your e-commerce platform or your needs, and you can create subscriptions as well. So I really like this. And then in your settings, you can also go a little bit further with communications. So in Webflow e-commerce, you can set up some emails, but you can't really design them. They look very much the same. Here with Cart Genie, you can go ahead and let's see, edit the template. There we go. You can upload your logo. You can change your colors. You can change your sizes. You have a lot more customization options here. So, and then you can see for, let me cancel that, all of the different emails that you can send. So you can send emails specifically for orders, as well as file downloads, which you can do with Webflow, but then also for subscriptions, which is very nice. We went over test orders, which to me, that's really great, especially when I do these demos. Doing test orders is a little bit of an issue. I'll just make a product $0, which doesn't always work when you're thinking about discounts and things like that. You have the address validation. You can track your customers. You can set up the emails. And additionally, in your settings, there are integrations, so with payments, so with Stripe and with PayPal. And a nice thing about Cart Genie is that they don't charge transaction fees, as well as you can integrate with Shippo. Another thing, and I'm just kind of rapid firing because it's kind of hard to go through this and say, well, this is it in Webflow and so on and so forth, but it's just really easy getting around in Cart Genie. One of the things they also do is they create shipping zones. So you can say, okay, this ships to the United States, maybe this ships to Australia. And if a customer is trying to check out for a product that only ships to the United States, then they won't be able to if they are not within the United States. They also let you set up taxes. They let you set up taxable jurisdictions and classes in case you have specific products that need that, which is very, very nice. And then lastly, they also have great webhooks. So you can create webhooks, and then the events here, it's kind of hard to see. Here we go. So you can see new order updated, new customer updated. So a lot more abandoned cart. So a lot more information or that you can set up and integrate with Cart Genie. And then out of the box, they have a bunch of integrations as well. And they have a really, really great roadmap. So you can look, you can suggest a feature, you can see their product roadmap. These guys are a very well-known quantity at Webflow. They are great to work with. They have built apps before, and I'm really impressed with Cart Genie. So like I said, it's for somebody who doesn't need the full power of Shopify and actually was doing really well with Webflow e-commerce, but just wants that extra level of control, a nice dashboard to see what's going on, your average order value, all of those things. Check out Cart Genie. I would really suggest it as a nice solution and let us know your feedback. All right, that's it for today's app drop. I hope you picked up some helpful insights into the advanced e-commerce features you can unlock with ShopeeFlow, Smoothify, and Cart Genie. I know I really enjoyed exploring how each app approaches customization and optimizations in their own way. If you want to dive deeper, check out the links in the description and be sure to check out each app's documentation and excellent tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.